All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, welcome on in, everybody. NorCal Sports Network. Spring training talk tonight. San Francisco Giants. Show is brought to you by Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group. Check them out in the description of this video or give them a call. I think I can remember their number by now. 415-613-9483. Chapman Law Group. Give them a call for all your legal needs. Maybe it's a personal injury situation you got yourself involved with, a friend, family member. Hey, let them know. Give Chapman Law Group a call. They'll take care of you. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. All right, everybody. Let me get to the band here. Let me find them. There we go. All right. How's everybody doing out there tonight? Good to see everybody. We got a little bit of, OKC, I see. Oh, they had a chance to close the T-Wolves. Yeah. All right. Well, Clippers lost, though. There we go. All right, guys. Little spring training action down in the Cactus League. Couple of games today for the Giants. Little split squad action. They tied their home game at Scottsdale 2-2 with Colorado and were defeated by the, what the heck we call them today? The LA Angels. I thought, I grew up, they were the California Angels. That's right. The California Angels. Then they became the Anaheim Angels. And now they're the LA Angels. I think they might even started out the LA Angels. They're back to it. But, hey, how about a little video action today right off the start, guys? If anybody see the absolute ball crushed by Marco Luciano today, let's take a look. Here we go. Let me get that ready, queued up. Here you guys go. Marco Luciano. Straightaway center, guys, off the batter's eye. Watch the ball. There we go. That was a nice shot by Marco Luciano. Good to see. Elliot Ramos is out right now with a little bit of a oblique strain. A lot of players getting their obliques, man. This is did you guys hear about Sean Manaea? He's out for he won't even start the season. He's out for a few weeks. He's got not just a minor oblique strain, but, if you look at Sean Manaea, he's changed his delivery completely. He now throws the furthest to the side of any left-handed pitcher, more so than even Chris Sale. Chris Sale, moves over toward first base, kind of comes across his body. Well, that's what Sean Manaea did, change his delivery. And, that had a huge effect on his performance last year, but now it's affecting his side. Man, the Mets are already without Frankie Montas to start the season, and now they're going to be without Sean Manaea. This is how my brain thinks, guys. I see guys when I'm playing fantasy, guys start losing guys with injuries. I'm on the phone. Hey, you might need a pitcher. You're down a couple pitchers. I mean, I might be picking up the phone and seeing what you might be able to get out of the Mets. Remember, the Mets are in it to win it this year, right? I mean, they got Lindor and Soto, and Alonso could walk after this year. So if the Mets start losing pitchers, man, I'm going to see, hey, you guys had Justin Verlander before. Short-term deal. You know, sometimes these guys get hung up on their old players. And that's right, he's got a no trade contract already. Gosh, geez, I don't know. But seriously, man, if the Mets lose another pitcher or so and they don't have any arms to start the season, man, get me one of their minor leaguers or something, Get me that Acuna kid. See if you can steal somebody. But yeah, I saw that our case Snow 23. Mets just picked up Canero, ex-Giant. Now with the Mets as the Cubs traded him. Yeah, my eyes get big. Yeah, with trade talk. Yeah, I love that trade talk stuff, man. I'm always looking to capitalize on something. You guys want to see that home run again? I see Mike Val says not a 420-foot. Do you hear the words that are coming out of them? Rush Hour Giants can zip it about Casey, Marco, and Bryce. All three help us win now. Dead serious. Hey, I think they could help us, Mike. I really do. I want to show you guys. I want to play that home run again for Marco Luciano. Let's see how deep that was to center field. That's a 450-foot shot. If you look at the wall, it was 420 to straightaway center, and that thing had another 30 feet to go if it didn't hit that wall. Maybe, 30 to 20 to 30 feet. The way that was going, that was a 440 to 450 shot. Yeah, that thing was jolted. Okay, so yeah, I want to see Luciano play. Absolutely. There's a couple other things out there in Twitter world today that I thought was kind of fun. Did you guys see the Casey Schmitt, this little Giants thing? I put a little thing out of it today. Let me see if I can play this for you guys. I thought this was kind of cool today. Let's pull it up right here. All right. I said this cracks me up. Casey Schmitt, the ultimate competitor, would not quit. And I think that's really a great sign when you watch this, guys. You want this in a ball player, someone who refuses to quit and has to conquer the task. That's the kind of guy you look for that's going to figure a way to find success in the big leagues. So check this out, a little fun exercise that the Giants were doing at their camp. And we'll put this on.
Yeah! Yeah! You're going to roll it and just try to trap it. Oh! What?
Bailey.
Oh! Oh! I've never played this game, actually. How many tries do I get? Oh! You screwed me! Oh! Oh!
Oh, that was awful, Webb.
Oh, Bobby. Wow! Bueno. Good for your home ball? Oh, I got it. How's that happening? Not good.
Vernon.
Is this regulation? Gonna throw something. Ooh, yeah. Oh, I almost sniped it. How did that work? It's a bug. This cup doesn't even work. This cup doesn't work. Anyone done it with 2 cups? It's a blue one. Yes! Come on. Come on! Bingo. Yes! Ah! Okay. Hit me. Oh! Oh! What the? Oh my. All right, you go ahead. I need a break. Close that, Danny? Bang!
Fits. Oh, that's great. That is hilarious. You gotta love that, guys. That was fun. And you know, I love the no quit. I love the no quit because it tells me that the guy's very competitive. He hates to not conquer something. And when you see that in a dude, look, guys that don't have the most elite talent. I'm not saying Casey doesn't have elite talent. He does defensively. But, you know, sometimes there's a struggle in his game with the swing or whatever. He's going to find a way to make it. And I love that. I've seen guys in sports all my life, guys that are underdogs, and they figure a way to get it done. And they're just ultra competitive and they won't quit. So I know that's just a stupid little ping pong ball or whatever that kind of ball was in a cup, but it does, for me, it shows a guy who's determined to win. I mean, probably that way. And if you play board games or card games with the guy, he's probably that way. And I know guys like that. And they always seem to get to the top of whatever they're doing. They may not be the top talented person, but they figure a way to succeed. So I love that. I thought that was a cool thing. That was put out, guys, by the I believe it was put out by the San Francisco Giants on Twitter. Let me look and see where that was. Yeah, that was put out by the Giants. So SF Giants, if you want to watch that again on Twitter, it's a pretty good thing to watch. Yeah, a lot of good things happening right now. Giants pitching has been good. I did get a couple of other highlights. You know what? I did not get a chance to upload them today, so I'll show you them on my phone here, which is not the best way to go, but I got these from Cliff Martinez, who was at the game today. He sent me a couple of videos of, and I thought, let me see if I can find this here. Hold on here. Where are we going? Today. Wow. I done with that many texts today? Jeez. Okay. Hold on. Hold on here. Don't know what happened to my text. Here it is. Nope. That's not it either. I don't know. Trying to find my text on here. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. Here's a text. I've got this. Let me see if this is the right one. Matt Chapman today was. Let me pull up the box score here, guys. 1 second here. That wasn't the one I wanted. Okay. All right, 1 second here. I should have been better prepared for this. I forgot to pull these up. Okay, so in the Giants-Rockies 2-2 game, I thought Matt Chapman was in rare form. He was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And here, I'm going to show you a video of him here. This is him making the loudest contact of the day for Matt Chapman at the plate. It's too blurry. Hold on. Let's do it again. Okay, Matt Chapman at the plate. There's the loudest contact. Got out of the way, and the ball hit his bat of a curve breaking ball over his head. Yeah, that was Matt Chapman. Jung-Hoo Lee hit a home run. But, you know, as I looked at the Giants today, and I saw something that was a little disturbing to me in the lineup. I don't mind an 0 for 3, but Lamont Wade 0 for 3 today, 3 Ks. Matt Chapman 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. Let's see. Those were the only guys that had multiple Ks today, Chapman and Wade. Casey was 0 for 3 with 1 K. Let's see. Nobody else really had anything of significance. Wade Meckler 0 for 2 with a K. That was in that game, okay? In the game against the Angels, they had a total of 14 Ks, guys. Marco Luciano was 1 for 3, the big home run, only 1 K. You could live with that. Grant McCray was 0 for 3, 2 Ks. Mike Yastrzemski, 0 for 3, 2 Ks. Okay, why am I bringing this up? Jake Lamb, 0 for 2, 2 Ks. And I'm not going to mention some of the other guys that are not very notable that struck out, okay? But Chapman, Wade, McCray, Yaz, also Huff had 2 strikeouts, 0 for 2. And it looks like Huff may be the backup catcher for the Giants as he is Tom Murphy is dealing with a disc issue in his back, and he's going to be not ready for the regular season again. So that's a rough call. I mean, Joey Bart looks better and better all the time right now. He would have been a great backup for the Giants and less than $1 million. And they gave Tom Murphy $8 million, and it looks like they're going to get nothing for it. Feel bad for Murphy. That's tough. You know, you hate to see a guy get injured. It sucks for the guy. But, you know, what I'm concerned about with this team is Yaz striking out twice, Wade 3 times, Chapman 2 times, McCray a couple times. Not that this striking out, but that's kind of their history. Okay. I want to see these guys make more contact. Okay. Especially if it's situational. If they're striking out with nobody on base, that's livable. You know, you're working on your swing and you're trying to get things going in spring. But Giants didn't really have too many people left on base today in that game against the Angels. And in the game against Colorado, it was a low-scoring game. Most of the scoring was done early in the game as a home run in the first inning by the Colorado Rockies. They had the big homer there. That was who hit that home run for the Rockies? Taglia. That's right. So Michael Taglia, first baseman for the Rockies, hit the home run, and then Jung-Hoo Lee was batting third today. They had Wade in the leadoff, and then Adames, and then Jung-Hoo Lee. You know, Jung-Hoo Lee got the home run with nobody on, and that was pretty much most of the scoring for the afternoon for the Giants until they scored in the bottom of the ninth to tie it up. and ended in a 2-2 tie, as they don't really go extra innings in these preseason games. So short game, only 2 hours and 28 minutes. We've got Cliff in the chat. I see Cliff's got back home to where he was heading tonight. Did you see any ABS challenges in the game today, Cliff? Tomorrow's look at this schedule here. I forgot to check it. There was one game I was going to go to this week, and that is, hold on here. Oh, not till Thursday I'm going. Yeah, I'm going to go Thursday and see the Giants play Seattle here in over in Peoria. So catch that game, and then next week I'll be able to catch a couple games, and the following week, yeah, I should be able to hit at least a game every week right now, if not 2 games on some weeks. So should be good. You in for the Seattle game, Mark? We could hit the Seattle game this Thursday. 1:10 game. Yeah, hit that one. That's just right up the road for you, really. Just hop on the 101. It's only probably 30 minutes for you. Catch that one. And the LA Dodger game on Saturday sold out. No challenges today. Okay, Cliff, thanks. Oh, you know why? Because they don't have it in Scottsdale. That's right. Forgot that. They only have them in 13 of the ballparks. They're in all of the dual ballparks, like, the Diamondbacks play there with Colorado, so they would have it. Probably Peoria with the Padres and Mariners, and over in Glendale with the Dodgers and White Sox, and over in Surprise, the Royals and Rangers. Those are the parks that have the camera set up. Hey, good to see you, Red, in here. That's right, everybody. Give it a like. If you're watching this right now, give the show a like, and give it a subscribe if you're watching and haven't subscribed to the channel. We do appreciate that. All right. Verlander, we'll get that maybe from Cliff. We can get a comment from the stats. It looks like he only gave up the home run. I think he only pitched 2 innings today. How did he look, Cliff? Did his stuff look like it had some movement on it? Pop, I mean, you probably saw on the scoreboard what the fastball was coming in at. He went 2 innings, only gave up the 1 hit. 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run. Did have 1 base on balls and a strikeout, but, you could probably live with that, I would think. Hey, thanks, Red. Good to see ya. Yes. No, Giants, Brewers don't share a park. The A's don't share a park with anybody. The Cubs have their own park. Let me think. Who else? I got to look behind me here. Okay, Dodgers share. Let's see. Yeah, everybody in the West except the Giants share. In the Central, Milwaukee is alone. The Cubs are alone. Cincinnati shares with Cleveland in Goodyear. So American League, National League, kind of like the Padres and Mariners. And let's see, who else? Texas, I already mentioned, shares. Oh, the Angels, they don't share either. So it's only in the Cactus League here, the only teams that don't that have their own park are the Giants, the Cubs, the Brewers, and I got to look, the Angels and the A's. Yeah. So the rest of them are all shared parks. Cliff says the breaking ball was sharp right around the strike zone, 94, 95 on the radar gun. That's pretty good. That's really good for Verlander. I mean, it was only 2 innings, but he's working himself up. If Verlander can give you 5 to 6 innings this year and if he can average 5 2/3 innings and he somehow to give you 30 starts, that would be very impressive. And if he can hang around the upper 3s to 4 range in the ERA, you'll take that. I did hear and read that Verlander is really looking forward to working with some of the younger pitchers. As I mentioned yesterday or the day before, I think the guy that benefits hugely from Justin Verlander is Hayden Birdsong. Very similar 4-pitch makeup, very similar, I think, in terms of competitiveness type of pitcher. I look for Hayden Birdsong guys to take leaps and bounds. Maybe you don't see it all this year. I think you'll see it. I think you'll see some of it, but in the years to come, even if Verlander's a one-year wonder for the Giants, I think Hayden Birdsong is a guy you can build around, and I really like his stuff. I think, I did see in one of the games, I think it was Carson Ragsdale. Yes, Carson Ragsdale in today's game pitched 2 innings, struck out 4, walked 1, gave up 1 hit. 4 Ks for Carson Ragsdale. That's a guy that could be a sleeper on this team this year. Look for him to make some appearances in that bullpen. I think overall this pitching staff, if it keeps the Giants in games, if the starting pitching can come through and the bullpen comes through like it should, it could mean a huge difference in the Giants. That's going to be the key to the season. It really is. It's going to be the key. They're not going to beat teams, 8 to. They're not going to pound teams into submission this year, but they're going to have some games where they break out. But I am looking for somebody like a Luciano. No, if you can get Luciano and Matos to both break through and Ramos can get healthy and have a productive year, I mean, there's some power between Luciano and Ramos. These guys have real legitimate power. Marco Luciano talked about how his swing was messed up all last year. And he just felt really uncomfortable. He felt screwed up in the box last year. And if you're mechanics or you just don't feel right in the box and you don't get it back, it's really a frustrating thing. So he really focused this offseason. He didn't even play winter ball. He really focused on getting his swing right. If Marco Luciano gets his head on and really gets an opportunity to play, then, he could have a breakout year. He really could. Kind of like what Ramos did last year. It would not shock me at all. Look, guys, I know that some people are not really high on Luciano, and, the jury's still out on him, but he does have power, and he's a streaky hitter. He just needs to be left, let him play. So just don't put him on the big league club and sit him. That would be absolutely stupid. So he's got to play. So, yeah, that's exactly right with Farhan. You know why Farhan emphasized all this, Hiroku? Because Farhan built the entire game on analytics. I mean, Farhan should go to the NBA and become one of these guys that, if there was ever a 4-point play and it was just like 5 feet within half court, okay, if there was a 4-point play in the NBA, Farhan is the type of guy that would have 70% of his shots that would be 4-point attempts. That's this guy. That's what this guy does. He built a team to try and win on a 3-run homer, and they didn't have any guys that could hit the 3-run homer because they were constantly striking out. Farhan is trying to beat the system, beat the game, and try to figure out it's all about analytics. So how much rope, that is the question. How much rope does the front office give these young kids that need to prove themselves? You know, they need to give them a shot. I'll tell you that, Aaron. They need to let these guys play, and still wouldn't shock me if there's a trade coming. I don't understand the whole Yaz thing, because he's blocking guys that need to play. You know, I just don't get it. So, and at $9 million, I mean, the Giants had a golden opportunity to just say, you know what, we're non-tendering you, Yaz. Doesn't mean we don't want you, and you can come fight for a job. We'll give you a roster spot if you want to sign. Well, if you want to sign for, you know, $4 million, maybe 5 tops. If you want to go there, or you want to go test the market, go ahead. But to give the guy $9 million, you know, I'm not expecting much from Yaz. You know, Safi, going down to see the guys at Papago, they closed Papago off to the public. It's only let you in if you've got media credentials. You can't even get in there in the off season. I met Casey down there in the off season and had to meet him in the parking lot. They're very strict about letting people just into the facilities to watch guys practice. So maybe I can figure a way. Maybe I can figure a way to do it. I don't know. But so yeah, that's kind of it with everything there, guys. So give me your thoughts on the Giants, guys. Let me know what you think. I will I think what I'll do is throw the link out there for you. If anybody wants to come in and chat, come in quickly. Hold on here. What did I do? All right, let's copy that. All right, so I'm putting the link in there. If I can get it to paste. There we go. All right, links in. Come on in quickly, because I'm not going to stay on long. We'll probably go another 20 minutes or so before we get out of here. So let me know if you guys want to come in, join, have something to say, your thoughts on the youngsters, your thoughts on anybody making the club, not making the club. You know, it looks like they're giving Jake Lamb every chance to make this club. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that over one of the youngsters. One sec here, guys. I gotta turn. There we go. All right. Just making sure I wasn't doubling up on our show here on my. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Coleman's Corner. My question above. Why are they working Marco in left field behind Ramos? Thought he should be getting work at right field and at a chance of letting Yaz go. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either, Coleman. Why would you put the kid? Well, left field, for one, is the easiest outfield position to play at Oracle. So that's one of the reasons, is left field's a much easier position to learn. Right field at Oracle's, it's almost like a center fielder. And for a guy who's never played outfield before, going to put him in left. I'd rather see, maybe if The only thing I can think of is if Luciano really crushes it, has a really good spring, and Ramos is doing the same thing, they could move Ramos over to right if Yaz is not performing, and then put Luciano in the outfield, in left field. That would be an option there. So kind of have to wait and see how it plays out. But, I think it's just a matter of, the guy's got to get reps somewhere, and hopefully they let him, just give him as many at bats. I want to see Luciano get, there's roughly 30 games. I mean, I'd like to see Luciano get 80 at bats. Seriously. You know what? And if he's not in the lineup in a game, in one of the A squad or B squads, send him down to one of the minor league games. The minor league guys, they have games every day. Now you can go to Papago. That's right. During the games, once the games start, the minor league games, you could go to the minor league fields and watch games. My friend, son, who was on this show last year, Anthony Villa, who's with the Baltimore Orioles organization, he played with the White Sox, and I used to go watch his games at the minor league fields. That's something you guys can go do sometimes too, is go check out some of the minor league games if you really want to catch up with some of the Giants youngsters who are not in camp, who are not in the major league camp. You can go watch some of these youngsters and you can get an idea what they're doing. Yeah, we mentioned that, Stephen. Murphy's going to be out for a while. Tough break for Murphy, feel bad for him, but Giants, they just need to move on. If he's not going to be available, you're going to have to make a roster spot for him. You got to put him on the 60-day, or you can just release him outright and re-sign him to a minor league deal. I don't know if they want to open up a 40, I mean, my guess is he starts the season on the 60-day IL. So that's how they make room in the roster. But they're going to probably slow play it with Murphy. So he's probably going to miss. My guess is he'll miss April and May because he'll be on that 60-day. And who knows if he's even available after that. Who's the legit number 2 behind Yaz? Would it be moving Ramos to right over potentially McRae or Matos if Marco looks like a starter in left field? I think it's I think the number 2 behind Yaz right now is probably Matos and McRae fighting it out. This is why, Marco, if Marco has a really good spring, he's got to play at least DH, okay? He's going to have to be in the lineup. You're going to have to say, look, we've got a young Marco Luciano, 23, and he needs to play. Wilmer Flores, if he's going to be your DH, you're going to have to make moves. I'm sorry. The Giants, I kind of liken Luciano in a way to like a Jonathan Kuminga of the Warriors. Not a great perfect analogy because Kuminga's making strides and he's got to play, but Kuminga's so young and he's so raw. And Luciano, we've heard about Marco forever, but he's still only 23. So you got to let him play. You got to let him see if he's part of the future or not. The Warriors had to find out this year, is Kuminga part of the future? And before he hurt his ankle, we saw that this dude is part of the future. And the Giants got to figure this out. They got to figure it out with Matos and Luciano and Schmitt to an extent too. They've got these 3 guys. Look, the Giants, they kind of did things differently than I would have, but you know what? They've got Chapman, and I'm cool with a sense for Chapman for the next couple of years. He is a gamer. He's a leader. He's a good ball player. I just wouldn't block Casey Schmitt without really giving him a solid shot. And, you know, I don't know where there's room for Schmitt. I mean, you're going to have Fitzgerald at second. Now you signed Adames. You got Chapman. So you basically said, Casey, you're a backup. And, you know, we'll see what happens. I mean, injuries do work themselves out in baseball, and it always gives guys a different chance to, you know, to make a club. And we're seeing that all over baseball right now. You know, we're seeing them, like I mentioned to you at the start of the show, the Mets have lost Sean Manaea and Frankie Montas, 2 starting pitchers, and they're going to be out. Both won't be available for the start of the season. In Montas' case, it's probably going to be not till May before you see him. So, you know, these pitchers, when they get hurt this early and they can't pitch, they basically got to have a spring training all over before, you know, you can get them ready for the season. So this is an opportunity for a Giants team. You know, you want to try and gain 5 to 7 games on the Mets fighting for a wild card, because I think the Mets are clearly going to be in that wild card position. They could sneak out the division, but I think Atlanta is pretty tough, and they got their guys coming back. So if you're going to compete for a wild card, you got to jump out fast. And if other teams have injuries to key guys, you got to be ahead of them. So we'll see how that goes. So, what do we got here? What else we got? I'm just going through the chat here. Okay, Ocean says Ocean View Coffee Shop. I like that. Nice name, Ocean View Coffee Shop. Do you have a coffee shop down with an ocean view? If you do, let us know, man. We love I love to go by the ocean. I love a cup of coffee on and sitting out, you know, looking over the ocean. If you got a coffee shop, if that's your business, let us know. Says the Giants defense in the Angels game was horrible today. Okay, that's good to know. Let me see, how many errors did they have? Let me look here. Check a look here at that box score here. The Giants, 1 error, but that may not explain everything. So probably balls they didn't get to, they got hits. Jorge Soler, big 2 for 3 with a big home run today. Ex-Giant. So yeah. Anyway, guys, just wanted to come on here for a while, just talk about some of the youngsters. And I think the Giants, you know, I'll give you more of a report. Like I said, Thursday, I'll be out at the ball game against Seattle. And I'll get out to that game. I'll also get to San Diego the following week at the same park on Tuesday, March 4th. What else? Other game can I get to? Got to stay on the west side because my wife gets off work right around 3:00, and I pick her up, so I can't go too far. What else? We'll get some other games. KC on the 19th. That's a night game. I'll catch that game. White Sox on the 17th over here in Glendale. I'll catch that. So, all right. Hey, we got a guest right before and he's got his Giants hat on. Oh, it's Dallas. How you doing, Dallas?
Hey, Dan. How's it going?
Great, great. Oh, nice setup there. You got a little studio. You got is that you do a podcast or you do some?
I do, yeah.
Cool.
It's
very cool.
Craft beer related podcast called Beer of the Day.
Oh, Beer of the Day. Nice.
Yeah.
What's the what's the name of the podcast? Well, the full name?
Beer of the Day podcast.
Just Beer of the Day, huh?
Yep.
Beer of the day. Okay.
Yep.
Hey guys, check out the podcast, Beer of the Day. That one right there.
That's it. Yeah.
All right, guys, go check it out. Get the beer of the day.
Question for you, Dan.
Yeah.
How good of a job does Eldridge have to do in spring to make the team at the start of the season? Is there anything he can do, like number of home runs, batting average, whatever, to actually make the big league club out of spring?
Okay, I would say he'd have to have a minimum of about 50 at bats, and I think he would probably have to hit 5 to 7 home runs and hit close to 400 to have a shot.
Right.
I think he'd have to hit a home run every 8 to 10 at bats. He'd have to show that he's not striking out, but I still don't know if that's even enough. I really think they're going to start him in it. They don't want him to do what Jackson Holiday did last year and get exposed and get beat by big league pitching that he hasn't really faced. I mean, he's what, a year and a half, 2 years out of high school, and he doesn't really have a full season. I mean, he really was an A ball. He had 9 games in AA, and he had 8 or 9 in AAA. And I think they really want to make sure they don't stunt his development. And you can throw a guy off if he develops bad habits and gets overwhelmed. I don't think this guy's that type of guy that's going to get overwhelmed, but I think they want to give him a few hundred at bats, 300 at bats at least this year in the minors.
Yeah, that's what I think too. But you see that home run and you kind of get excited and you're thinking, well,
yeah,
can he force the issue here?
Like I said, I think
that lineup sure looks a lot better with him in there.
It sure does. And they need a lefty and they need power. It would change the whole lineup if you could put him in the cleanup spot. It would be pretty nice. But if you can sandwich Ramos and Chapman, I don't know. I'd hate to have him bat in front of Chapman because I think he might even get pitched around. I'd put Ramos behind him,
Right. I think Chapman would have to move down in the order if that was the case. And I'm surprised that he's not already. Like Melvin says he wants to have Chapman hitting 4th behind Lee. And I would much rather have Ramos hitting 4th and Chapman 5th, or
right.
It just, the whole Lee 3rd thing just doesn't even make sense to me. So maybe it's just an experiment in spring to see how it works, or maybe it's drumming up talk. I don't know. I don't exactly understand the reason behind that.
Yeah, not so sure. Tahoe guy asked, hearing that White Sox will continue to make Luis Robert Jr. available. Do the Giants feel the Giants still could be in the mix? I would think if the Giants go further and further into the spring and they get more comfortable with what they have, I could see the Giants just, depending on what they want, if they're not going to ask for too much, I think the Giants would be in on it. But if they're going to ask for, obviously, Eldridge is going nowhere, and depending on which prospects they're talking about, I think the Giants could be still in there depending on the prospects. But yeah, I'm with you, Dallas. I don't want to see Chapman behind really, I mean, I don't want to see him if Eldridge does come up. Don't put Chapman behind him, because you put Chapman in front of him, because then Chapman will get to see better pitches. That's how you
Yeah.
help Chapman out is get him to see some better pitches, somebody that's scary behind him.
Right.
So
For the Luis Robert, they're already starting to get jam packed. They want to give some run to Luciano and to Matos and see what they got. So
yeah,
the
and
only
then
way I see
McRae
that
is in there.
happening at trade deadline, we get through the season, Matos craps out, Luciano craps out, and then they need somebody at that point. But I don't
Right.
think we're going to see any moves until they know what they have. And I think that's the reason why we haven't seen anything up until now.
Right. I agree. They're
just
wanting to see
waiting
what
to
they
see.
got, and they definitely need to let them play this spring. So that's kind of why I'm shocked that Yaz is, they re-signed Yaz, because I understand, and it's probably they only re-signed him because he was a lefty. But you had Wade and McRae that can play the position, and I just don't want to see them do this platoon stuff where they go, oh, okay, we're going to go McRae, Yaz, and Lee in the outfield, and we're gonna figure a way to get Jake Lamb at first base,
Right.
and they're gonna do all this shenanigans. I hope that's gone.
I don't see it happening, but that's what they talk about. But you're not going to come out and say right now, Yaz, sorry, you're now a bench player. They wouldn't just come out and announce that. They're going to keep it a competition. But the platoon word with the young players, that just bugs me. I know you've talked about it many times where Yaz, being a left-handed hitter, is going to face the righties, which is the majority of the lineup. So Matos
exactly
will
about
only be in
70%
there
of the
for
time.
a third of the time, which is going to stunt his growth. Whatever potential he has, you're never going to know it if he doesn't play. So with Matos, it's either let him play every day in right field or let him play in Sacramento, because it's if you just have him playing, spot starts and a couple of pinch hit at bats here and there, he will never be able to get in rhythm.
Right. I don't understand what their thinking is, because if they go with this platoon, Yaz gets the majority, as you said, and I've said this over and over again, and it frustrates me to no end, because you're right. They're stunting Matos's growth. The guy needs to play every day. We saw what he's capable of. Yeah, it was a hot streak, but you know what? That's part of baseball. You go hot and cold sometimes. There's slumps, and there's times when the ball looks like a grapefruit.
Playing another hot streak in the fall league.
Right.
So if he gets a couple of hot streaks going this year, then he's going to be there to stay.
Right. And they just got to give him that opportunity, as they did Ramos. Ramos hit, I heard them say last year, in fact, I'm going to pull up Ramos splits. It kind of bugged me because they criticized him recently in an article about his splits not being very good against right-handed pitching last year. And I thought to myself, his numbers against right-handed was better than Yaz's overall numbers. So what are we talking about here? Let me pull up his batting splits. Okay, here we go. Get to them here. All right, where are we? All right, let me do this here. I'm getting ready to pull up Elliot Ramos, and then we'll end the show after this, because we're just want to. All right, you guys see is okay, against left-handed starter last year, Ramos hit 341. He hit 10 home runs, 28 RBIs, had an OPS of 1103. Now, against right-handed hitters, we see that he hit only 242, 100 points less. But he hit 12 home runs against right-handers, drove in 44 runs. His OPS was not the greatest, 670. His on-base percentage was 285 versus 413. But those are
his batting average against right-handed pitching was better than Yaz's against both sides.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yaz's overall numbers are not that great. And I mean, what did Yaz hit? Like 230 something last year? So the fact that but Ramos, if they're going to just make him a platoon type hitter, he probably won't hit as well. He did hit 12 homers against right-handed pitching. Look, let him get going. He might get that, from 242. Maybe he brings it up to 250, 255, a respectable number, and then he still crushes left-handed pitching. So
he was a rookie last year. We have no idea how this season's going to be.
Right.
He only got in there a third of the way through the season, and just by dumb luck that we ended up with an all-star.
Exactly. So, well, you know what? We're going to end the show tonight a little early. I've got so much been going on here, and it's almost 10 here where I'm at. So and I'm just trying to get my strength back, coming back from this upper respiratory crap I've been dealing with. But great to have you on here, Dallas.
Thanks for having me, Dan. Hope you're on the road to recovery there.
Thanks. One more plug for Beer of the Day podcast, right? Just beer on YouTube?
Yeah. beeroftheday.com and it's a podcast, and it's a website. We feature a different craft beer every single day.
Is it on YouTube as well, or you guys?
It's on YouTube.
So on YouTube,
but mainly it's just a podcast, but we do YouTube. And
okay.
The next incarnation of it will probably kind of be in the vein of what you do, because it's the wave of the future here.
Yes, it really is. So beeroftheday.com. Let me edit that, put that up there, guys. beeroftheday.com. Go check it out, guys. Let me hit save here. Hold on. Let me see. Beer of the Day. There it is. beeroftheday.com. No space, obviously, between some of those letters, but you'll figure it out. The web. Check it out. And what was the beer of the day today?
Good question. I don't even know.
So do you update it, talk about it each day, or
no, we just do it periodically at the podcast, and then the website has the one each day, and then it puts it out on all social media at Beer of the Day on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything.
Who you need to get on as a guest? Maybe you've already had him, but get Tom Tolbert on.
Oh, I should. Yeah. No, he's big into craft beer.
He's huge into craft beer. Yeah. So
and he's not as busy these days.
Mark Graves asked you. Yeah, he's starting a show. I think he started today. By the way.
Right?
Yeah. What's your go-to beer? Mark Graves asked.
Well, it's hard to, especially this time of year, to go against Pliny, Russian River, Pliny the Elder. I like a lot. Double IPA,
okay.
But this is the time of year where they have Pliny the Younger. It's like their one time a year release. So that's kind of the popular one right now.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, hey, Dallas, thanks for joining. You're welcome to join anytime we open it up. Love to hear from you.
Dan.
Appreciate you being part of the NorCal Sports Network. All right. That's Dallas Helliker from beeroftheday.com. Go check out the podcast. Go check out the website. And my left eye starting to water here. Feel like I'm going to sneeze. This thing's been beating me up for a long time. But I've heard it's got to many of you guys. If anybody's dealing with this upper respiratory, you know what I'm talking about. But guys, hey, check out Better, BETR, the official daily fantasy sponsor of NorCal Sports Network. Put in the promo code NCSN for NorCal Sports Network. You get up to a $250 deposit match and a free play. It's a lot of fun. It works like some of the other sites. There's Underdog, and there's I just forgot the name of the one. That Prize Picks is another one. But Better, go try Better. It actually is better. The name Better, it fits. It's a lot of fun. So lots of contests they're running all the time. So give that a shot. Thanks for being part of the show, guys. And we will catch you on the next one, which will be, tomorrow night. I think we got a post-game show for the Warriors. Let me check their schedule. They are playing tomorrow night against the Charlotte Hornets. should be coming on about 9:30. Okay. Let's see, 7:00 tip off 50. Yeah. Call it 9:30 tomorrow night. Warriors, Charlotte Hornets. Again, we are NorCal Sports Network. We will cover all 162 San Francisco Giants games. Do not fear. We'll be here all 162, but we are also covering the Warriors, and we got you covered both ways. So this is NorCal Sports Network, and we cover it all. So thanks for being part of the show, guys, and we will catch you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.